welcome. Thank you for joining. Today's topic is going to be over internet. So, picture this. You've been assigned to work in a global virtual team. It's you and 2 other group members. Well, everyone has decided, okay, you're going to use Google Docs to work asynchronously during weekly Zoom meetings, and you will use group chat as like the minor method of communication to check on progress, updates, and just to check in on your team members throughout the week. The team standards and communications expectations have already been established. Then a 4th member is added. So you're going over the standards and agreements the group has already agreed upon. Well, this individual, where they live, they don't have access to Google, they don't have access to group chat, and they have very limited access to Zoom. So what do? Do you assumptions? Assume they're just implying that they have a very bad internet connection, and once they get to a place with better reception, they'll be able to access the tools? Do you berate and belittle? Do you question their competency as a member of the group out loud to other group members or behind their back? Or do you communicate? Ask for clarification to get a better understanding of the situation. A and B are not actual answers, so the correct answer is C, communicate. However, in global virtual teams, we have a specific name for that type of communication. It's called metacommunication. Metacommunication is the communication about technology that will be used for the primary methods of communication. So if you ask this team member why they don't have access to a particular tool, and they say, oh, it's banned, or I've never used it before. If you live in a country where you have unlimited access to the internet, you should take the initiative and do the additional research to find out why a particular tool is banned. You can ask follow-up questions to get more of an understanding, but keep in mind, if they have restricted access to internet in their country or region, they're not going to have all the available information they need to know exactly why a certain application is banned. So this brings up our next question. Why is there limited access in certain countries? So now we're going to take a look into Hofstede's cultural insights to see how both China and the U.S. view freedom of speech translate into cybersecurity or internet censorship. What are Hofstede cultural insights? It's a factor analysis to see how the effects of society's culture influence the values of those individuals and how those values influence behavior. While there are 6 parameters for Hofstede culture insights, we're only going to be focusing on 3 of them: power distance, individualism, and indulgence. In comparing and contrasting Hofstede culture insights for both China and the United States, we see that their scores are somewhere akin to the forms of government that each country is operating under. So far as America, which is more democratic, you have a lower level of power distance, a higher level of individualism, and a higher level of indulgence. Can imply that people residing within the Republic of China, social hierarchy is a very important thing. How do these cultural insights relate back to the freedom of speech in both the United States and China? Well, in the United States, everyone has the freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is not just reserved for those in high power, versus in China, people do have the freedom of speech, but those that have the most freedom of speech usually reside high within the communist regime. So tying it all back, is limited access internet censorship or cybersecurity? If you're viewing it through a democratic lens, it might seem like internet censorship. Viewing it through a communist lens, it's going to be labeled as cybersecurity. But going back to our original scenario, how do you solve this problem? So we established that the answer was C, communication, establishing metacommunication. If you have not done the research finding out which tools are available to your group members, ask them what tools they do have free access to. If your government is not restricting yours, you have access to theirs, hypothetically. If that doesn't work, do additional research and keep searching for like a happy medium. And by medium, I mean technology medium that will allow you to accomplish and complete the task that you've been assigned.